Welcome back, Cobra Kai fanatics. Last time, we delved into the leaks and speculations for Season 6, Part 2, Episode 6, titled The Enemy of the Enemy. If you missed it, make sure to check it out. But if you're all caught up, let's dive into the latest leaks for Episode 7, which is intriguingly titled Homecoming. What does this title hint at? Could we be in for some epic flashbacks or a serious return to the roots that will hit us right in the nostalgia? Let's dive into the 8 major leaks for this episode. First up, it seems we'll see the grand return of Julie Pierce, who is rumored to be revealed as Dimitri's mother. I've touched on this before, but the connections are still a bit murky. Whether her appearance will be a brief cameo, a single episode, or a longer storyline is still unclear. Fans are buzzing, but most are scratching their heads, wondering how she even fits into the current narrative. Personally, I think the best way to bring Pierce into Cobra Kai Season 6 is through a cameo. She could visit Mr. Miyagi's grave and run into Daniel there. They'd talk about their relationships with Miyagi, and that would be it. No need to make her a regular. Remember, in the next Karate Kid,
you see, before, live with the friend, Daniel-san.
Mr. Miyagi mentioned Daniel as his former student to Julie, so while Daniel may not know of Julie, if they meet at the gravesite, they'd naturally be curious about each other. Some fans speculate that they might have already met at Miyagi's funeral, but if that were the case, Daniel would have at least mentioned her by now, or she would have already appeared in Cobra Kai. Another easiest way to feature Hilary Swank's Julie Pierce is to reveal that Daniel has always known about Mr. Miyagi's other student. He just never mentioned her. The next Karate Kid takes place after the Karate Kid Part 3, so Daniel was likely in college during the events of that film. Mr. Miyagi never directly mentioned Daniel to Julie. However, Cobra Kai has shown that Mr. Miyagi and Daniel LaRusso eventually reconnected and remained close. So it's hard to believe that Miyagi never mentioned Julie to Daniel at some point. Obviously, revealing that Daniel has always known about Julie would be a retcon, as he never mentioned her during Cobra Kai. It could be said that Julie stopped practicing karate at some point, or that Daniel never actually met her, setting up their first interaction in Cobra Kai. With the new combined dojo preparing for the Sakai Taikai, Daniel could recruit Julie as a new sensei ahead of the global karate tournament. Another is that Daniel doesn't know about Julie, but Julie knows about Daniel. It's safe to assume she remained friends with Mr. Miyagi. Even if it's likely she never met Daniel, Miyagi might have told Julie about him at some point, perhaps before Daniel dropped out of college and returned home. It would be strange for Miyagi to mention Daniel to Julie but not mention Julie to Daniel, but this could make for an interesting storyline. It's also possible that Daniel and Julie could meet at the Sakai Taikai. While that might seem a bit too convenient, the show could establish that Hilary Swank's character continued practicing karate and eventually became a sensei like Mr. Miyagi. Julie might have started her own dojo inspired by Miyagi-Do, but without Mr. Miyagi's direct involvement, meaning Daniel would never have heard of this parallel Miyagi-Do. That is, until the Sakai Taikai tournament comes in. Honestly, it seems like Daniel didn't learn nearly as much from Mr. Miyagi as Julie did. Julie is more balanced, which is why she knows Miyagi-Do secrets that Daniel doesn't. She understands that Miyagi-Do isn't just defensive. It's clear that Miyagi taught her discipline, how to channel her anger differently, and even how to fight when sight is obstructed. She knows that Miyagi-Do can be offensive too, something Daniel didn't realize until recently. Plus, Julie trained for much longer than Daniel, having started at a younger age with her dad. In the wake of Daniel's search for answers about Mr. Miyagi's secrets, if he and Julie do meet, they'll have much to learn from each other. We might even see Mr. Miyagi's mysterious private life unravel step by step by the end of the show. What do you think of Julie's arc? Next up in Homecoming, we've got the Sakai Taikai heating up with a major showdown. Cobra Kai's captains, Kwon and Tori, will go head-to-head against the Italian dojo Falchi della Notte. That's Night Falcons in English. This mixed-gender, 2 versus 2 match is going to be intense. Kwon's no-mercy attitude paired with Tori's grief-fueled fury. That's a combination bound to leave an impact. Some fans are gossiping about a potential love triangle between Kwon, Tori, and Robbie, but come on. Tori's way too focused on her goals to get sidetracked by romance right now. She's all about winning and proving herself, and I think it's insane to believe she'd let a relationship mess with that. What do you think? Could there be more to this than meets the eye? Then, there's Miguel and Sam, the power couple, kicking the asses of Furia de Pantera students in a brutal 2 versus 4 matchup. This Spanish dojo, which translates to Fury of Panther, is going to give Miyagi-Do a run for their money, but I'm betting on Miguel and Sam to come out on top. This will be Samantha's second match at the Sakai Taikai, and you know she's going to bring it. In addition to the elimination matches, the Sakai Taikai will feature events like kata demonstrations and weapons competitions, similar to the All Valley tournament. In this episode, we'll witness more eliminations, intense games that determine whether competitors advance or pack up their gear. At some point, a spotlight will be on an elimination match between the West End Warriors, a United Kingdom dojo, and Polar's Laget, also known as the Polar Battle, representing Sweden. Another juicy tidbit, Robbie and Tori's relationship hits the rocks at a nightclub. Rumor has it they'll have a massive confrontation and eventually break up. Some fans think it's because Tori rejoined Cobra Kai and broke their promise to stick together, but I'm not buying it just yet. Robbie's mature enough to understand Tori's situation, losing her mum and getting played at the qualifications. Tori has been a loyal girlfriend full time, don't you think? Maybe they'll work things out, or maybe not. But if a breakup is inevitable, let's hope it's not driven by some cliche love triangle. Tori deserves to be free of all that drama and to come out on top as the badass we know she is. Speaking of drama, it looks like the cause of Tori's mom's death is getting revisited. Rumors are swirling that her death might actually be a murder, which is wild because it was originally revealed as a pulmonary embolism linked to her kidney disease. Fans are all over the place with theories. Some suspect Kreese, others think Terry Silver might be involved.
When your mother passes gracefully, then what?
And then there's the idea that Tori's aunt, Candace Nicole, who had financial motives, could be the culprit. If it turns out to be murder, it's going to hit Tori hard, just as she's trying to focus on the Sakai Taikai. It's a lot for anyone to handle, but that's what makes Cobra Kai so gripping. It's messy, it's emotional, and it's real. There's also buzz about Kenny replacing Devon after an alleged injury. Leaked images show Kenny standing with the Miyagi-Do team, but some fans claim that Sam might be the one replaced instead. It's unclear, and this might just be a production misdirection. But if Kenny does join the tournament, his aggressive silver bullet method will be something to watch out for. Kenny has always fought with anger and vengeance, and I wouldn't want to be his opponent. Seriously, the kid's fighting like a Viking chasing Valhalla. Let's hope these plot twists don't derail the show and that the season wraps up in the epic way we've all been waiting for. Thanks for your support, and as always, keep it badass, but also keep it safe.